All right. So Ken, you're the president of the homeowners association.
Yeah.
What's the home of the Enchanted Place Homeowners Association?
Right.
So you've got about what 30
houses, roughly 30 houses.
30 houses,
Yeah.
and this is probably your biggest event of the year, I imagine.
It's the only one that I'm in charge of. Yeah.
And you've been doing it. Tell us, you've been doing it pretty much since the beginning. So tell us, you grew up in Miami.
North Miami.
You grew up in North Miami.
Yeah. I lived
where?
on 5th Avenue and 130th Street by St. James Church.
Okay. And tell us how you moved here. We're going to cut all this up, but tell me how you moved here into this neighborhood, what drew you here, and kind of the origins of this thing.
Well, I actually worked for the phone company, and I met this guy, and he said, I live on the street, and houses come up for sale, and it was like, well, I'm looking for one. Lady died. I went to the lawyer. The lawyer said, we haven't even had a funeral yet. I said, I'm offering $20,000 for the house. This was back in '87. And he says, $20,000. Yeah. I want to negotiate, so that was in '87. But I was house sitting for these people for like 3 years. And it's a quiet street. They had a pool, It's like, oh, this is a great place to live. So I said, if something comes up, let me know. When she died, he called me. And I finally got the house.
So that was in '87 then when you got that?
'87, and then because I worked for the phone company, they would let us use a bucket truck, and in the evenings we would start hanging lights. And it just grew. This neighbor would come and say, hey, can you put up lights for me? And that one, and it just kept going after that.
So it started, when you moved here, there were a few people that had been doing it for years.
Right.
But you moved here, and then you started with the bucket truck.
Right. The guy that I met worked for the phone company. That's how I found out about it. We both worked outside technicians. And
So you were up on these things all the time.
oh yeah, since 1987. Yeah.
And so you started doing it for your house
Right.
that year, and then your neighbors were like, hey, that's a pretty good idea. Let's
Yeah.
get you to help.
Yeah. If I buy lights, will you put them up? Go. Buy the lights, we'll put them up. Then they go, how many lights do you need for this tree? And you're like, I'm not real good at numbers, so I'm gonna talk to him, my friend Carmen, and he'd tell him, oh, you need 2,000. And they'd come back with just 2,000 lights, and it'd be like, oh, we forgot to tell you, extension cords, 3-way adapters, back to the store, and that's how it all started. It's just like.
So you guys kind of became the go-to people to figure out how to do this.
Yeah.
Now, was it always this? Obviously, it's a beautiful street because of the trees that over. It's pretty dark down there. You got all these trees that go over the street. Was it like that from the beginning? That's the way it's always been.
Oh yeah, that's what drew us to the street.
And so that first year, you got how many people joined in then?
The first year was probably 7, 8, maybe at the max. And then one of the houses came up for sale, and I called a friend and said, hey, this house is for sale before it goes to the realtor. You interested? He moved in, then they started decorating. And that's how, it's like word of mouth of a house come up for sale. It's like, hey, call, see. And then the thing is, you got to like Christmas.
So that's the rule then. The rule is if you want to move on the street, you got to like Christmas.
Yeah, and we had a Jewish family. Do I have to put up white lights? No, you can put up blue lights. You give me blue lights, I'll put them up. And that's just what they did.
So when did it kind of become a thing? It started as an informal thing, but when did it become an official Enchanted Place? When did that start?
The Homeowners Association formed in 2001. We had a Scrooge that lived in that house over there, and what we had to do is we had to go and form the organization, get a permit to block him, because we have donations, voluntary donations at the end of the block for Care Resource at that time. And he's out here, a skinny little guy, dressed in a Santa outfit with a beer in his hand, collecting money. So we shut everything down, and we went to the city to get an ordinance, and the next 2 days later, we were back up and running.
This is the same Scrooge we were talking about earlier?
No.
Oh, different Scrooge.
Different, yeah.
It's a different Scrooge.
Yeah.
So this guy just wanted to try to make some extra money?
Yeah. I'm doing it for my organization. What's your organization? He lives in that little trailer park over there off 22nd Avenue and 137th back there. And he's like, it's a church. I'm like, oh yeah? You go to church? So We had to get a permit
So
to stop.
you had a guy show up in a Santa costume who had a beer, and so
Yeah.
you had to shut it down for the year that time, I guess.
No, not the year. Only 2 days.
2
3
days.
days. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, and so, but once that happened, you guys had to feel like you had to become a legitimate organization in order to prevent that from happening?
Right. And
Okay.
that's what the city told us, you guys got to do something. So we formed homeowners in 2001, and, we've been doing it ever since.
And just prior to that, the street was named Enchanted Place. You
No,
said.
it was 137th Terrace.
So it happened after.
Right. We had this name changed.
Okay.
Or added. It wasn't changed, it was added.
And that was obviously a Christmas reference, Enchanted Place. It's that
Yeah.
year. That's the official address, though, right?
Right.
Right.
I can use that 1710 Enchanted Place. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because that's the Enchanted Forest.
Right.
So that's why we call it Enchanted Place.
So, what is your favorite? Well, I have a bunch of questions, but what is your favorite part of this? You've been doing this for a long time now. It sounds like you can't get this job to somebody else. You are Mr. Christmas on this street.
I wish I could get somebody to take it over. I'm 65 now, so let's get some youngsters to do it. But I think the most satisfying thing out of me, if you live here and you sit out here at night when the cars go and you hear what they say, it's a pat on your back. You feel great. You made somebody who is, with hurricanes and stuff, that it would be like, it was great to get away from everything.
That's all right if you have to.
It's all right. It's just great to get away from everything. Thank you for doing it. The thank yous are what makes me feel good.
Now, how many people do you think come? I mean, because it's December 1st and then it goes till
January 6th, Three Kings Day.
January 6th. So in that 35-day period, how many people do you think come?
Oh, thousands. I want to say thousands. I know that through our collections, our best years, we collected like $20,000 in a month for Care Resource. It's down now to about 11. But people are like you. They come out and they say, my parents brought me here, and I'm bringing my kids. So it's word of mouth. We don't advertise. We used to get TV coverage. We used to get newspaper coverage. The city named a day after us, So the best thing for me is just sitting out here. My other half is like, dinner coming in. It's like, yeah, but I'm going back out. If the volunteers don't show up, I'm out there collecting. And just to hear the people, see the smile on their faces. And when we have Santa here, it's a whole nother story.
So the volunteers this year are from an organization called the Pioneers, which is from AT&T.
It's a volunteer group, retired and active employees. We collect money, we do house painting, we help at a fashion show, we supply school supplies, turkeys for Thanksgiving. We do whatever we can, with the money that we make, because we're a 501c3, so we have to give back. And local organizations come to us, and if they're a 501c3, we help them, if we can.
So what? Do you have a specific house that's your favorite that they do? I know there's the one with the train, that big. That's a favorite for everybody. Do you have what's your favorite?
I'd have to say that one because it takes me 3 days to put it together.
So you put that one together.
One of the neighbors built it, and then he moved. And before he moved, he was going to give it to the homeowner. Told him, see that knot? That's for the train. And he's like, I don't want it. I'm a very quiet person. I don't like that. So we talked him into it the first year, and it was overwhelming. People in his yard. He'd be in the house. He'd hear people look outside. There'd be people standing, taking pictures. We had 2 trains going around it, and everybody was just ecstatic. And to me, that to me is the best thing out of the whole thing. That and when we have Santa and being down there helping Santa, watching kids get up and they tell him. I had a note once. Wait. Some kid came and left a note on my door. Some kid one night, there was a note left on my door, and thank you for all you do. It just got me. It still gets me, but there are so many people that come out here that you make happy for Well, for most residents, all they do is turn their lights on. But for me, it's getting them up. And when you're hearing things like this and you see it, that's what's great. You know, I don't know if I was put on the world to make people happy or what, but I do so much volunteer work through the pioneers and things that we do. You know, people have to give back, and that's what we do here. All my neighbors, when it was in the height of its glory back in the early, I moved here in '87, in the early '90s when we were making money, it took 45 minutes to go up this street. It's dead end, 2 blocks. Traffic, they had cops directing traffic and everything. So, you know, when you get that amount of people who want to come out and see this, it's free. You don't have to give. We pass out candy. We have Santa. What more can you do to make people happy but just put up a few Christmas lights?
Right. So I guess and you've already answered this, but for you doing this, I mean, this is a big endeavor. I mean, this takes you weeks and weeks out of the year just to, to prepare and everything. So what is your motivating, why do you do it still,
Tradition. You know, next year will be our 30 years. And it's great that people know if I give my address, 137 Terrace, you know, they get that look in their eye. They get that look and they go like, is that why I put up those Christmas lights? I go, yeah. Just because, you know, they know where it's at. So, you know, for people to say, you know, that, oh, I've been there and I can bring my kids or my parent, we're recognized. And to me, that's a pat on the back.
I have only a couple more questions for you. Is there a large LGBT community on this street? Or
a third of the street.
A third of the street. I was going to ask that. So that obviously has something to do with it too. That kind of gives it an extra flavor, do you think? Or
no, you know, because one of my family members isn't doing anything, and you know that doesn't say a lot for the LGBT. But you know, I don't force anybody to do anything. It's up to the people who want to do it. The people are here because, like I say, when a house comes up, we all get on the phone. We've had across the street from me druggies, prostitutes, 7 people in a 2-bedroom house. The slumlord owned it, never did nothing. They didn't do nothing. They lived outside in their carport, screaming, hollering, drunk. I don't want my neighbors like that. I want peaceful neighbors.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That's how we try to keep it that way.
I see.
Yeah.
But is it a point of pride for you? I mean, it sounds like that's not really part of this at all. But I mean, you're pretty active in the community, I would imagine. Is that a point of pride of you that this is sort of led by somebody who's in the gay community and kind of bringing all these people together?
You know, I can't say that it is. You know, I want to believe, you know, like all our friends know. And like we have a party once a year and they're all invited and they tell people. And then when I'm out here doing collections, you know, they come by with their friends. And then they go, he does this, you know. It's like,
all right, what is it about Christmas then that you love so much? Because obviously you gotta like Christmas to be doing this. What is it about Christmas and the spirit of it? And let's wait till this guy goes by. You know, what is it about Christmas and its spirit that you love so much?
I think it's just the giving and the sharing of, you know, friendship. You know, to me, it brings a lot of people closer together, especially like on the street, you know. So we have neighbors. If something happened to any of us, you know, we're all right there. I think the spirit of Christmas is believing in people and helping them whatever way you can. And this, to me, this is helping people, getting over whatever their distractions are. Even if it's for 20 minutes drive, whatever. And I'm helping them show that, get to know your neighbor because you can do this in your neighborhood. All you gotta do is start and ask the neighbor, you wanna do this? I'll help you. And that's, to me, is the spirit of Christmas, you know. I mean, I love Christmas and everything about it, but it's just a thing that we can do at a time, you know, when we all have to be happy. And that's my whole thing. You know, I'm out there doing whatever I can to make people happy, make them laugh. I do drag, comedy drag.
Oh, really?
Roller skates, big hair, and tits with tassels. And I make, I'm not the pretty drag queen. I'm not the one who paints for hours. 7 minutes in the bathroom, I better be out that door ready to go on stage, And I'm there to make them laugh because they're used to seeing somebody do an illusion. I wreck that.
So obviously then you get a rise out of getting emotion from people. That is something that you like to do.
I like to entertain, and to me, this is entertaining people.
Sure.
That's a perfect way. I never thought of it.
Well, very good. Well, okay, so I'll just ask you a few more informational questions. So, is there a time when all the lights come on at night?
Sunset to 11.
Sunset to 11.
Everybody has time. Well, not everybody, but most people have timers. I don't say have them on at 5:30. I tell them sunset, but make sure they go off at 11.
Right.
Because we've had people leave their lights on all night, and then some people come down, scream and holler and sing Christmas carols, and some of the neighbors like, I ain't doing this next year. Why? Because somebody came down singing Christmas carols? Yeah, it was 2 o'clock in the morning. My bedroom's right on the street. Like, okay, lady, okay. But it's it's for a short period, and almost all my neighbors participate.
Right, that's pretty impressive. That's
Even if it's just a little something.
Right.
Like if this tree was magnificent. If the guy just wrapped the bottom because he can't do the top, it's still something.
Sure.
Instead of a black hole.
Sure.
But nobody is pressured to do anything. That's my thing. And if you say to me, I don't want to do it, thank you for participating.
Sure.
That's it.
Well, very good, Ken. Well, is there anything I haven't asked you that's important in terms of or informational wise?
No, we used to do it for Care Resource.
Right.
Forever. Until last year.
Is that the HIV charity?
Yeah. Is Care
Today's
Resource.
Today's AIDS Day, right? World AIDS Day, I believe.
Yeah, today's World AIDS Day.
So what was they're not doing it this year. This is the first year they haven't done it? Or?
No, they didn't do it last year.
Didn't do it last year?
And what I've told them every year, when my neighbor Carmen died, he was one of the 3 original people.
Oh, okay.
And he and I did most of it. And when he died, I said to Care Resource, or Health Crisis Network, whatever. Yeah, Care Resource now. If you guys ever decide you don't want to do it, let me know. Well, they decided last year in June not to help. So
what did Carmen die of?
Brain aneurysm.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't.
He was sitting in his mother-in-law's driveway checking her lights.
Oh my gosh. But at the beginning, why was Care Resource the charity that was chosen?
Because Russell worked for Care Resource.
Okay.
One of the neighbors.
Okay.
And it was like we would be sitting out here drinking, either in Carmen's yard or down at Russell's, and we'd be drinking. People would be like, "Here, what's the money for?" And then it was like the light bulb came on, and it was like, "Hey, let's do a fundraiser." And he was in Health Crisis Network then. And he says, well, I'll get the volunteers. You get the volunteers, the money's yours. At that time, it wasn't as big as it is now. So ladders and bucket trucks that we could get things done. But now it's so big and the trees are so tall that,
But you see what I'm trying to ask you. Obviously it was an HIV charity. There's a lot of gay people on this street. Was that a part? Russell was just
no, that was just he just happened to work for them.
Okay.
And that money went to
right.
And it was supposed to be earmarked for children with AIDS then.
Okay.
In the beginning, it was strictly with children. And then, once we asked for a financial report, what did you do with the money? And then one of the neighbors saw that it was gone to office expenses or this or that, and they went off the wall. This money is supposed to be earmarked for children, not for your office supplies. But something? It's for whatever. We earmark it for that, but
you got to print paper up.
Yeah,
right.
We're not saying that it has to be, but this guy caused a big to-do.
I got you.
Like, okay, you be the bookkeeper. All the money we collect, we give it to you, and then you ask for a receipt. Oh, I don't want that responsibility. Then shut up.
Neighborly conflict, right?
Yeah,
right.
They're everywhere.
Right.
They could be your next door neighbor. They may not.
Even in the happiest street in North Miami, that's what you got.
That's it. You're in an enchanted place. Come on.
Exactly right.
Quit trying to stick a spoke in a tire.
Right.
The wheels are running. They're happy.
But it sounds like there's no end in sight. People are going to continue doing this, and
somebody asked me, when are you going to stop? And my answer to them is probably when I'm dead, because I can't find another fool to do this.
Well, you're only 65, so
Yeah,
you
yeah,
got a long time to
yeah.
go.
And I've been retired now 6 years. So they say if you live 2 years after retire, you're going to live for a while. My friend Carmen, 7 months.
Oh,
You know,
goodness.
but so I get up every morning. I'm up by 7:30, and I go until 11 o'clock.
That's great. That's great.
I'm just very lucky, very lucky. I've got great neighbors. That's my biggest thing. It's a success because of all of my neighbors.
So this event obviously brings everybody together then.
Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of, does it help year round having this connection?
No.
Does it help keep the peace at all, or?
Yeah, it does keep the peace. I mean, nobody ever comes and says, "Hey, I need help" or anything like that. There, someone will come and ask if I can do something. I was a phone man, retired. So can you check my phone or something like that? There, I'm always there. I'm willing to help, but nobody really asks for stuff. Everybody's still kind of quiet. They don't want people to know their business.
Do you guys communicate during this period? Like, do you guys have an email chain or anything like that?
We have an email address, and I always tell people, you got problems, I'm the president. Call me, send me an email. Just like this, I sent an email out in October. Time to start checking your lights. At our last meeting, we decided we were going to do it. Lift is coming this day. Get your lights ready. Nobody had them. Well, Arlene, myself, my next door neighbor, we all had ours because we know, first houses that are going to get done is me, Michael, Arlene. Those are the main houses. There's 4 houses together, or 5 houses together. And it's like, if nobody else does nothing, there's these 5 houses.
Right.
So.
But there's no real threat of that. People will do it. They just.
Oh yeah, yeah. They
right.
just wait till the last minute,
Right.
And
I imagine, not even intentionally, but now there's like a peer pressure element where it's like people are, everybody else got the lights and people are coming down the street.
oh yeah. And they go, "How come you don't have any lights?" I said, "Go knock on the door and ask." I don't want to be the one, and don't say that I sent you.
All right, I'm going to ask you one more question. You've already told me this, but I want to get you on camera. So when a new person moves into the street, when a for sale sign comes up on the front of the house, walk me through kind of what you do.
If I see somebody, and they're looking, or they come up and they ask me, you know anything about the street? Well, yeah, we're all dead-end street. We're all neighbors. The house is for sale. This one had it. And you got to like Christmas. And they go, "Yeah, I heard about that." Well, that's all I'm telling you. You got to like Christmas because for a month, it used to be 6 weeks. For a month, there's traffic on the street. After that, it's over. That's the only thing.
Sure. Well, very good. Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. I'm going to run